Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone. And child, let's get into this Real Housewives of Potomac where it looks like it's going to be quite the messy season, okay? I had to calm down from that other review. And so I'm really excited about this dramatic breath of fresh air. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And let me give a shout out to all my super thanksters, channel supporters. Thank you so much to Etam Luo Sim 40, Tanya Fuller, Rochelle McGee, CT Hawkins, Yvette Greer, Kimmy's Creations, Fifi ASP, Carla Jackson, Simone Francois, and Kimberly Roberts. Thank y'all so very much. And on Cash App, Vanessa Bird and Ashley Hunter, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. So the episode opens up with the ladies going on a picnic, and the first two to get there are Karen and Giselle. Well, we know these two will drag each other to hell, but I guess they're going to pretend they get along because they got to get this season started some kind of way. Ashley's coming to join them, but Karen is concerned about whether Ashley is doing well. Giselle said, well, according to TikTok, she looked to be doing just fine to me. All that damn skipping and dancing and jumping she look all right. Karen tells Giselle she thinks TikTok is just some cheap therapy for Ashley because she has announced that she is getting a divorce from her old booty burglar husband, Michael. Robin joins them, and just as Giselle is trying to find out if Robin got any extra tea that they don't have on Ashley, Ashley shows up. Well, you know Giselle ain't got no coots, so she's gonna get her tea right from the pot. And I have to say, Ashley has been the arch enemy of my last nerve for a long time, but she looks amazing. Especially to say she has two small kids and that hellacious husband, she looks amazing. So now that the four of them are there, they sit around and they're catching up about a trip that they've all been on recently. And they start teasing Karen about not being able to remember the exact age difference between her and Ray. She said, no ma'am, I've been with this man a very long time. I know all the numbers, the social security number, the bank number, the age number. I know all the numbers. You got me mixed up with Mia Lioness. Which leads them to talking about whether Mia is a lioness. Apparently, Mia made a post on Instagram announcing that she was sick, maybe sick, is battling with some issue with her health. Well, they ain't sure if she's sick for real or if she's running a disability scam. They said one day she's on Instagram claiming that she has the big C, and then days later she's saying that she doesn't. So nobody is clear on what exactly is going on with her. Robin says she thinks it's attention seeking. The illness that she has is attention deprivation. And Giselle agrees because why would she announce this on social media? Karen said, well, I think we should give the girl the benefit of the doubt because who would play with that? And that's my thought, is who plays that game? And Giselle's like, but you don't think it's weird that she would go on social media with that? Karen said, I mean, yeah, it's different. It's not what I would do. Now, personally, if it were me, I would be praying and have Satan on his knees. I said, Karen, you better slay. So now that they've run out of Mia tea, Giselle turns to Ashley and said, well, sis, we happen to have just been talking about you and Michael getting a divorce when you had walked up, and this is a little bit juicy, and we done ran out of tea, so we about to start sipping yours. Ashley said, yes, it is true that they are going to be getting a divorce. They're just moving in two different directions. Karen said, how? How do you end up moving in two different directions after a brand new baby? Ashley said, well, you know, I don't drink anymore and we're not really sexually compatible. Ashley says they had recently been in Miami and some lady was interested in her. And in the beginning of their relationship, they would have taken Miss Ma'am up on her offer. But now that Ashley is a mother, she's not as comfortable doing those things. So Michael wants the threesome and she just wants to go home. Robin said, but I thought y'all don't get down like that no more. Ashley said, we don't, but that don't stop Michael from wanting it. He wants it, but she got to a point in their relationship where she told him she doesn't want to do that anymore. She wants monogamy. And I guess you can't close Pandora's box. So they're trying to get clarification on what exactly is going on. Are y'all separated? Are y'all getting a divorce? Like, what are y'all doing? And Ashley tells them that they are separated, headed for divorce, because in the state of Virginia, you have to be separated for a year before they'll grant you a divorce. But Ashley says that Michael has been being really caring through this process. She wants a house and she has a smaller budget, but Michael has been sending her listings that are out of her budget for them to purchase together. So they asked her, wait a minute, y'all getting a house together? Well, in the name of the LLC, apparently Ashley and Michael are going to open some LLC together and purchase a home for Ashley and her children to live in separate and apart from Michael, but in the name of some LLC that they'll own together, child. This is absolutely a control move to keep her at his mercy. So all the ladies are looking at her and telling her, ain't no way you getting a divorce. You can't be getting a divorce when you get ready to buy a house with this person. That does not even make sense. And Ashley is giving all these excuses about why a legal divorce isn't that big a deal. It doesn't really matter. Girl, you know what I think is going on? I don't think Ashley is getting a divorce at all. I think what's happening is this is Ashley's way of keeping Michael from having to film. We'll just say we separated, we getting a divorce. That way, it gives her a storyline. They can focus the storyline on just her and her children and keep Michael's embarrassing somewhere in the corner. Because every season, he does something to further embarrass her and gets closer and closer to a harassment charge. So I really think this is some kind of concoction to keep Michael out the mix. Karen starts trying to advise Ashley, because you are living somewhere in La La Land. Let me tell you something, divorce gets real ugly. He might start to get a little nasty and want to start pulling bones out of your closet. If he starts throwing bones at you, be prepared to throw the whole damn skeleton at him. And Ashley is in the confessional just as foolish. I think I would have an amicable divorce because it's something that happened gradually. But it's possible for Michael to become more vengeful as this gets more real for him. But I don't want to, speak that into existence. You ain't got to speak it into existence, but you better consider the reality. So we move on to Chris and Candace, and we see that Candace is finally ready to have a baby. So they are going to a fertility specialist, and she's going to be talking about IVF and freezing either her eggs or her embryos. Child, I don't know if they ever came to an agreement about which one they're going to freeze, but she freezing something. She has a lot going on right now. She just re-released her first album. She just came off tour with SWV and Faith Evans, which is kind of a big deal. And with so many doors opening up for her, she wants to be able to pursue this career path without losing the option or opportunity to have a baby. So she is freezing that option. Now, the doctor is explaining to her that with IVF, appointments and keeping the schedule is very, very important. And so she and Chris get to arguing back and forth about his schedule in the doctor's office. Candace explains that Chris went from working at home to taking a position as a general manager at a hotel in the area. So he's really, really busy now, and he comes home really late, like 1 o'clock in the morning, late. Candace wants Chris to have a steady schedule in order for them to have kids, and Chris wants her to understand the demands of his career. His thing is, your career has requirements of you, and sometimes you're busier than other times, just like mine. They can't see eye to eye about the schedule thing. Chris is getting frustrated because he feels like Candace is not listening to him and doesn't give a damn about where he's coming from. And Candace is telling him, it's not that I don't give a damn, it's just that your answer is never the same. And you is cursing at me. And if you keep cursing at me, your answer ain't gonna matter, because we're gonna have a whole nother problem. So we leave them in the car arguing. This ain't got nothing to do with us. I don't know why y'all like to fight in front of us. And we see that Charisse is back. Charisse and Robin are going out to lunch together. And Robin lets us know that Charisse is the real Grand Dame of Potomac. She has actually known Charisse the longest of all the ladies. She was the wife of the Wizards coach, and she met her when Juan was drafted to the Wizards. Charisse is the center of the social network, and apparently she is here to reclaim her title. So they decide to catch up on their love lives, and Robin wants to know, what does Charisse have going on since you divorced and single? What's going on, girl? Charisse said, not a damn thing. I'm single and trying to mingle, but it's a struggle in these streets, okay? Charisse said she done had about 2.5 boyfriends since her and her husband got divorced, and she said the half is a friend with benefits that she got right now. She just unsettled. You ain't gonna never be for me, so I'm gonna just keep you for what you're good for. So Charisse said, well, what's going on with you now that you done got in the business that I don't have? Of course, she wants to know what everyone wants to know. When are you and Juan getting married? Robin said, I don't know, and we ain't worried about it. It ain't that big a deal to me. Quite honestly, Robin tells Charisse she's actually more concerned with a prenuptial agreement than an actual nuptial agreement. I'm worrying, but if I get crazy enough to marry him, how I'm going to protect my assets. Robin said that she is the breadwinner in their relationship currently. And the first time that they got married, when he was the breadwinner in the NBA, they had a prenup. When they had a prenup the first go around, she didn't believe that she should get half of what he was worth if they got a divorce. And now that the tables have turned, she is the breadwinner and she wants a prenup. She doesn't think that he should be able to get half of what she has either. And I do not blame her. Robin says she is not one of those people who believes that the lesser earning partner should automatically get half of what the higher earning partner brought to the marriage. And Charisse is looking at her like, you are out your natural mind. What do you mean the other person shouldn't get half? So you don't think I should have gotten half when I got divorced? Robin said no. Charisse said, are you kidding me? She said no. I don't. You didn't help him earn that money. And Robin turned the question on his head. Robin said, let me ask you this. Robin said, if I were earning like he was earning and we ended up getting a divorce, do you think he should get half? If I brought everything to the table, you think he should leave with half? Charisse hesitated for a second. She said, yes. Yes, I do. You so full of shit. Charisse does not think that Juan should get half of what Robin has. What it is she knows that it's a double standard. You can't say that it's okay for the woman to take half, and then if the tables turn, say that man better not try that. Robin said, well, I don't give a damn what you think. Our first prenup wasn't set up to give me half of what he had, and if we do get married again, the next prenup won't be set up to give him half of what I got. That's just how it's going down. And Charisse said, well, a prenup might be a good idea because if me and my husband had a prenup, we'd probably saved a whole lot of money. She said between them, they spent about $1.5 million on attorneys. I could have counted the money for y'all for a fraction of that. And Robin says, well, speaking of marriages, since we in here talking our business, we might as well talk old girl business too. Did you know Ashley is supposed to be getting a divorce? But I don't know how real it is because she done sat up and told us she leaving the man, but they going house hunting together. So Charisse, I don't buy it at all. Ashley is the real attention seeker, and I think she just hasn't been getting enough of y'all's attention, and she wants some attention. That's why she's doing this. Robin said, but she gets plenty of attention on TikTok. If y'all don't stop sending that girl to TikTok hell when she trying to be y'all friend, that girl want friends in real life. She tired of playing on TikTok, okay? So we move on to Mia and Gordon, where they have moved into a new house that they are renting right down the street from Karen and Ray. And even though they are renting this house for $10,000 a month, they have decided to invest $65,000 of upgrades into a rental home. Boy, why wouldn't you go buy something if you want to do upgrades and all kinds? Why wouldn't you go buy a property to invest these upgrades into and make your money back? Like, I know that's a happy landlord. So they're hosting a family gathering at their home. They are attempting to look as normal and functional as possible. Mia says that her relationship with her mom has been a roller coaster, but they're working on it. And her mom is coming over to the gathering. And she asked her about what's going on with her health. Has she gotten any results? And she said that she actually had heard from her doctors the day before. They did tell her that she has a disease, and they just want to make sure that it has not moved into her lungs, but not to worry about anything. So since Karen and Ray are her neighbors from down the street, she has them come over to visit during her gathering. And she welcomes Karen by checking out her latest boob lift and telling her how good it looks. Karen said she is quite pleased with her latest work, while Ray said he is concerned. Ray said he gets concerned when you start doing a lot of vanity cosmetic work. Karen said he ain't concerned about her. He's concerned about who looking at her. Who the hell you over there lifting them titties for? So Karen is trying to make conversation with Mia's family and asking about, what's interesting about Mia. And this leads to us finding out that Mia's party trick is doing monkey calls. So Karen pulls Mia aside and they have a conversation about Mia's recent posts. And Karen starts out by asking her, does she need anything? Is she okay? Mia said, yeah, I'm fine. I don't need anything. And Karen tells her, you really scared me because the post that I saw on social media mentioned Johns Hopkins Cancer Center. And so Mia explains why she went to social media. She says that she was talking to her best friend, crying to her best friend actually, who we see them show us a clip of. And this best friend was telling her that if anything happened to her, she would be there for her children. And Mia let her best friend know that she had already had an agreement with Gordon that if something does happen to her, it is okay for Gordon to marry her best friend. I said, wouldn't the passing husbands down hell? But this best friend, who she has willed her husband to, told her that she should share this. Social media is a highlight reel. And rather than pretend that everything is all good all the time, she should share her real self and her real situation. I mean, I guess I get it, but for me, I'm trying to figure out what is social media supposed to do with that information. Now, it might have been a comfort thing. Maybe you're comforted by sharing the situation with other people and being able to talk about it. Karen told her, well, that's real nice, and I appreciate you sharing all of this with me, but please be prepared for interrogation and investigation because these girls are really side-eyeing you. They got a whole lot of questions. Mia said, and that's fine. They don't pay not a hospital bill nor an insurance deductible. I don't give a damn. So we move on and we see that Wendy Osefo and her new body is back. And she is meeting with Peter Thomas, Cynthia's ex-husband that we know from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, she is meeting with Peter Thomas because she wants to open a Nigerian lounge that she wants to also double as a library lounge for small children. First of all, Peter told her, hell no. Hell no. Don't no grown person want to be around no kids and no kids lounge or nothing that look like no damn kids when they is trying to get lit, okay? Wendy says she is already stretched all over the place with her kids being a professor, having her OEN products. She does speaking engagements and she has a book coming out, but she wants to spread herself a little bit thinner. She said she was discussing with a girlfriend that she would like to get into the nightlife hospitality business, and Peter overheard her conversation and suggested that he might be interested in partnering with her. Well, they're meeting to discuss the details of it. Peter says it's going to cost about $1.5 million to get this lounge off the ground. He says that he's willing to put his money up, but he will let Wendy buy into this to have 20% ownership for a $300,000 investment, since it's going to cost $1.5 million to do it. Wendy said, for that kind of money, I'm going to need to talk to my husband. My side account got shoe money. It ain't got $300,000 lounge money. I don't know if it's me. I don't know what he building, but $1.5 million? He told her, if you buy into this, be prepared to give your investment, not expect a return on that investment for 18 to 22 months. So it's going to be about 2 years before you start seeing some money back. But with the idea that you have, if you make this investment and it all goes well, he foresees them pulling in about $8 million a year. So Peter asked Wendy, well, how does your husband feel about you making this investment? Wendy said he's not into it. He's not interested. He ain't trying to give me $300, much less $300,000. He feels like she is already overextended with all of the things that she's doing that she cannot manage as it is. Peter said, well, you better go home and put it on him. That's all I know. Wendy said, I don't know if I got enough to put on him to get him to risk $300,000 with you on a lounge. So we move on and we see Ashley going to visit her family. She's taking her boys to see her mom and her aunt and uncle. And she says that her relationship with her family has gotten a lot better since she and Michael have separated, because she had to choose between him and her family for a long time, and she doesn't have to do that anymore. Ashley is talking to her family and she's saying, she's looking for a house and she's excited about that because she'll get to have them over. And her Aunt Monica said, well, since we talking about it, do you plan to have any sort of a signed agreement as a result of the separation, like a divorce decree? She starts explaining that she's concerned about addressing financials because she has a mortgage now. And her uncle is asking her, well, do you think Michael is going to be there to support you through this? She starts saying she doesn't really know, but what she does know is she is terrified of struggling as a single mother because she watched her mother struggle as a single mother. And her mom said, yeah, I did struggle and it was very hard, but it was also very, very rewarding. So her uncle starts asking her, is she going to be getting a set amount of money from Michael? I said, now hold on. Is this curiosity or is this a family financial planning meeting? What's going on? Ashley explains that the way that her prenup is set up is that she waived alimony payments in lieu of getting a lump sum. So she would get a lump sum of money if they divorced, but her prenup expired after 5 years and they've been married almost 8. So technically at this stage of the game, she is entitled to half of Michael's assets. And the producer is in the confessional asking her, how much is half of Michael's assets? How much Michael got? Ashley said, well, she would never tell how much Michael has, but he does well. So they said, all right, let's rephrase the question. How much would it take for you to live comfortably? Ashley says she don't really know because she doesn't currently pay anything. Ashley, you ain't never seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman? What do you mean you don't even know what it costs to live your life? So since we taking a left turn into dumb shit, her uncle starts asking her, hold on, do you have a lawyer? Cause you cannot do this on your own. She said, well, no. He said, why not? Well, we're working on a proposal written by who? Michael. Her mama said, hold on. So is his name gonna be on the house? About that. So me and Michael are going to start an LLC, and the house will be purchased in the name of the LLC, which will have both of our names on it. Her mama just is confused. She said, I don't understand. What is this language you speak? What are you talking about? Her uncle said, an LLC with a house in his name? What kind of life are you living? The marriage was my financial plan life. That's the kind of life she living. He said, are you getting a divorce or starting a business? You talking about LLCs and don't want to hear nothing about divorce decrees. What are you talking about? Ashley said, well, I told y'all, I don't know. I'm just getting started in this process. I don't really have any answers. Her uncle said, see, this is why you need a lawyer. You need to go get a lawyer because the last thing you want to do is be in a situation where this man is in control and pulling all the strings in your life. And that's exactly what Ashley is setting herself up for. This is also why I think they're not getting a divorce. I don't think this is about Ashley getting a house for her kids or getting a divorce, because who buys a house with a person they're trying to get away from? I think her and Michael are together. And I think her and Michael are planning their future. And they're playing this whole we're separated game to keep him from filming so he can't be on here embarrassing her, fighting and feeling people up. I also think she is so traumatized by her childhood experience and seeing her mom struggle as a single mom that I think she's willing to stay with the devil she knows. Like, it's easier to stay with Michael where I know the bills are paid than to enter into the uncertainty of single motherhood. And it's a natural fear. I'm not judging her for that fear, but I do think that her decision making is being driven by that fear. I really think Ashley thinks that she can't afford her lifestyle without Michael. And Michael is going to exploit that fear. What he will do is keep you in a lifestyle that in your perception you can't afford, so that he keeps you on a string. And if he really does have some money somewhere, giving her a lifestyle that maybe she can't afford, while it might be more expensive than she can afford, it's less expensive than him having to give her half of all his assets. For all she knows, she can afford her lifestyle, but you don't know what nothing costs. You don't know what your life costs to take your bills and compare it to your income and say, can I do this on my own? Girl, I can't with Ashley and Michael. I really want Ashley to get it together. She's a beautiful girl, and Michael is an absolute creep. I cannot stand him. So we move on to Giselle's house, where she said her home is finally coming together. And child, if she like it, I love it. So Giselle is at home getting ready for Karen's Spring Fling. She's trying to find an outfit, and her twin daughters, Angel and Adore, come in to help her, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They're trying to help her get dressed because they tired of her embarrassing them with this foolishness. You always getting dragged on the internet about your outfits, and we gonna let them see that you be doing this by yourself, because we be telling you that's not cute. Giselle, hold up the first dress. No, ma'am, that's too churchy. The second one, that's bland. Where'd you even get that from? Mom, I thought we updated the wardrobe. Girl, them church tired of you. We is sick of you. This is teenager for we done tried to help this lady, okay? We tried to help her. We told her she looked crazy. So when y'all see her looking crazy, don't come say nothing to us. So she finally produces a jumpsuit that barely made the cut. They say, yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, you can wear that. Yeah, go ahead, wear that. When I tell you won't nobody drag your self-esteem to hell like some kids, and though her kids are dragging her to hell, trying to keep her from getting dragged to hell, she is trying to adjust to the idea that they are getting ready to leave soon. She has 1 year left with her oldest daughter and 2 or 3 years left with her twins before she becomes an empty nester. And she said her can't talk about it without crying about it. Poor thing. That means y'all better get ready. Giselle's going to be real messy in about 3 years' time. Them girls going to be gone. She ain't going to have nothing to do. She is going to be in everybody's business. So we finally get to Karen's Spring Fling gathering, and she's celebrating spring and not wearing masks and turning 59. Child, just say you want to throw a party, Karen. So Giselle asked Karen about the instructions that she had in this weird-ass invitation that she sent them with these miniature tacos and tequila. She said, yeah, after we ate your little snacks and drank your shots that you sent, I read your instructions in your invitation, and it said no fits and no feuds. So I'm just trying to understand the parameters of how much shit I can start. Could you please, what did you mean by that? Karen said, yes, I said no fits and no feuds, and I meant that. I want us to be in a love bubble today. I want us to be happy. Karen, you have to explain to Giselle what a love bubble is, okay? Because to Giselle, hazing and harassment is a love bubble. So Karen and Giselle catch up about their daughters. Karen's daughter, Raven, is 24 now. She's living in New York, living her best life. And Karen is about to go help her find an apartment. And so she asked Giselle, are you ready to become an empty nester? How are you going to handle that? Giselle said, I'm going to cry. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cry in the car. I'm going to cry in the house. I'm going to cry while I'm starting with y'all. I'm going to cry. That's what I'm going to do. And then after I cry, I'm going to go find me a boo to be up under all the time. But Giselle immediately changes the subject because you know she don't like to talk her business. She like to talk other people's business. Let's talk about somebody else. Yeah, let's talk about Ashley. Remember Ashley was talking about that divorce? She lying. She ain't getting no damn divorce. Karen said, I think Ashley is basically finessing. I think she has learned how to play the game, and this is her way of getting the house that she wants for her kids out of Michael. Once again, just as they is spilling all the Ashley tea, Ashley walks up. Ashley showed up in a dress that said she might be getting a divorce. That dress said, hell with spring. I am springing into the single summer life, honey. So they asked her how she's doing, how's everything going? And she said things are going great. She actually just put an offer in on a house. Karen said, oh, by yourself? She said, well, the LLC did. By yourself? She said, no, with Michael. Karen said, y'all ain't getting no damn divorce. You are not getting a divorce from this man, and you just went and put an offer on a house with this man. You did, girl, please play with somebody else. Giselle said that's some bullshit. Because see, everybody around here done been divorced. You said you were getting a divorce. You don't buy a house with somebody you're getting divorced from. Ashley said, well, I said that we were getting separated. Giselle said, you said y'all were divorcing. And here goes Ashley playing her games. Well, Giselle, how can I get a divorce without being separated? And Karen and Giselle are both sitting there looking like, I know this girl told us she was getting a divorce from this man. That's probably the whole reason Karen threw this party in the first place, to celebrate. So as Giselle is trying to prove to Ashley that she's a liar, she said nobody buys a house with somebody they're getting a divorce from. I wouldn't buy a house with Jamal Bryant. Robin wouldn't buy a house with Juan. As a matter of fact, Robin's name is the only name on their house. I said, well, what the hell? Karen and Ashley look shocked as me. What the hell? First of all, Giselle, why is you telling this lady's business? And secondly, who knew? Giselle ain't for a friend for doing that, because I am sure that Robin did not share that with her for her to share with the world. Her and Juan are tense enough in terms of their relationship. I am sure they didn't want that out there. Now, Giselle will protect her business at all costs, but you just gonna throw Robin's business out there like that? Giselle told Ashley she lying. I don't believe nothing you saying. And Ashley said, well, the thing is, Giselle, you are the person in this group that I am the most transparent with. Now, honestly, as it gets closer to me moving out, it does get more and more real. And this morning, I woke up with a coochie craving for Michael. Yuck. Karen and Giselle are like, girl, please tell us you didn't do that. What do you mean? She said, well, no, I didn't do it, but I had a craving for him. Giselle said, girl, let me tell you something. Every time that you let that man touch you on the inside parts, it restarts that year over. And so you have to wait another year from the date that you let him touch you for y'all to be able to get a divorce. Ashley said, well, that's fair. So Karen tries to explain to Ashley that, listen, you are at a place in your life now where you're making your own money, and maybe you can't afford the house that you could afford with Michael on your own, but you can afford a house. And I really don't think Michael's name should be on the deed to whatever house you buy. I agree with Karen 100%, and Ashley needs to take heed. So they done spilled all Ashley's tea, and Ray, Candace, and Chris all show up to the party. Well, Ashley goes to mingle, and Candace steps in to take her seat. So they go from talking to her to talking about her. They bring up Ashley's pending divorce, and Candace said, if it's true, I'll throw the party my damn self. She needs to get away from that man. So Wendy and Eddie arrive at the party, and Wendy goes to hug and greet everybody, and she realizes that she hasn't spoken to Giselle. And she goes over to Giselle at the bar and reaches in to hug her and say, hey, and Giselle damn near screams, stranger danger. Get your ass away from me. Back up. Give me 50 feet, 6 feet, beat your feet. Get away from me. Wendy said she just shooed me away like a flea. Giselle said that girl dragged me and my family for an entire year, and she thinks she just gonna come up in here and hug me and I'm supposed to play along like ain't nothing happened. No. I'm a little too messy for all that. We don't get down like that over here. And quite honestly, I don't blame Giselle. Like, my thing is, if you're going to be with the shits, be with the shits. You aren't going to drag me and then come in, oh, that was last season. No. This is the next round. So Mia and Gordon arrive at the party, and they're going around, hey, how you doing? Hugging and greeting everybody. Giselle hugs Mia and pulls her to the side and says, is this what cancer, no cancer looks like? Say what now? Giselle has no couth. Mia looked utterly shocked. Mia said, this is what I've arrived looks like. That had to be the lowest, tackiest, most insensitive thing she could say to her. I don't understand where you get the audacity to approach somebody about whether they had cancer or a cancer scare and throw it in their face and say, is this what cancer, no cancer looks like? So Karen is in the middle of them looking utterly shocked, like Giselle has really hit a new low. And Giselle asked her, did you tell her about her social media? Karen said, well, I told her y'all had questions. So Giselle tells Mia that the first issue that she has is that she notices that Mia edited this post that she made on Instagram about her illness, and it came across as attention seeking. And she just didn't think that Mia was that girl that needed attention that bad. Mia said, I'm not. So Robin arrives as Giselle is asking Mia, why did you make the post? It just seemed very attention seeking. And she drags Karen under this bus she sees getting ready to roll over her because, yeah, you're not going too far, too fast this time. She said, Karen, you agreed. Karen said, no, ma'am, I did not agree. All I said was I wouldn't have gone to social media. That's what I said. But no, ma'am, I did not agree. Giselle said, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You agreed that it was weird. Giselle, if you're going to start shit, stand up in it. Now that you're going down, you don't want to go down by yourself and you're going to take Karen with you. Okay. Mia said, well, to answer your question, no, I didn't need the attention. I was using my platform for a purpose. Giselle said, well, what's the purpose? Mia said the purpose is that she was hurting because she had gotten a phone call that she had cancer and she was broken. Giselle said, so they said you had cancer. Mia said, they called me and said that my results indicated that I had lymphoma. And after crying with her family and being in and out of hospitals and doctor's appointments, she has been through hell. And the episode comes to an end with her telling Giselle, so if you think I did all of this for attention, you. Well, that's that on that. And I agree, Giselle can go straight to hell. She has lost her natural mind. If somebody will go to the extent of lying on their health, there's a whole nother health issue that's going on. Let that be between them and whatever medical professionals they need. Now, if she's lying on her health, that's something she's gonna have to deal with, because you don't put those kinds of things out in the atmosphere. Manifestation is a real thing. From the way Mia came across, I do not think Mia is making this up. I really think that this is something that happened to her. Even if she had a scare and it turned out that she's not actually sick, why don't you thank God that that's not the case, rather than try to drag her for that not being the case? But they'll pick up this fight next week, child. That's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. As always, thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and let me get it off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.